Amelia, are you planning on coming to my wedding? Although you happen to be Andy's older sister, I hear that you are a middle school graduate planning on attending my wedding. All the other guests will be surprised to see you there, I assume. I mean, it is expected that everyone who shows up has some form of education, or at least a job worth working.
Sophia, how are you doing? It's been so long since the last time you and I talked to each other. What are you trying to say to me right now? I shouldn't have to explain myself for you to understand what this is all about, right? I know for a fact that your little brother is a doctor, and you know that very well. Yeah, I'm very aware of that. In fact,
Hearing that a doctor's older sister never even made it past high school. That is very hard for me to believe, even coming from the man I love. If that's really the case, though, then that must mean you are pretty much useless at everything, correct? Right now, I am really wondering why someone as skilled as Andy had to end up with such a waste of space as you, Amelia.
are you making all those claims about me only based on the fact that I only graduated from middle school? When you met with me previously, was that the same way you judged me then?
I could see that you looked very nice in that fine dress you had on. But when your mother was going to explain your situation to all of us, Andy stopped her and told her to keep it quiet, right? That's when I knew that something very fishy was going on. I could tell that you were the one in the family that everyone sees as taboo and most likely don't like very much.
So that's how you came to saying such unfortunate things about me? Well, you were very mistaken then. You just happen to have a misunderstanding of me and what I do, as well as of my past. I believe my brother was just being kind and making that whole meeting about you guys, and not about me by having my mom shut up.
Well, I'm sure people could say it like that as well then. Andy knows that you're an embarrassment to your family, and that's why he restrained your mother from talking any further about you. I get that you guys are all trying to hide the truth from us.
Sophia, I'm sorry to say this, but you are very much wrong about that. That was not Andy's plan whatsoever when stopping my mom.
You poor, poor thing. Not only do you have such a terrible education, but not even your parents spent any time raising you into a proper adult.
Excuse me?
What I'm saying is true, right? You never graduated high school after all. I understand your family tried their best to cover up what a stain you are on your family's image by dressing you up in such a nice dress.
Are you sure about that?
When you become someone of my status, it's pretty easy to tell the truth from the lies. I work with things like flowers all the time as an expert florist, so I have a very well-trained eye for all sorts of things.
I can see that.
If you are planning on coming to our wedding, then I'd really enjoy it if you took some classes and became a responsible adult and learned how to have manners. If you're not able to do that for me, then you won't only be causing a lot of embarrassment for your brother Andy, but for his bride as well.
I would like to ask you this just out of my own curiosity. But what school did you end up studying at and graduating from to become such an expert florist as yourself?
Huh. And why would you like to know such a thing as that?
Is it wrong of me to ask?
Even if I told you where I studied, someone like you would never be able to understand its importance. I'm surprised you are even able to ask me what school I've gone to with such confidence as that.
Well, I'd really like to know where you've gone before your wedding. You say that you were an expert florist and a teacher now at that? That must mean you'll be arranging your own flowers to decorate the wedding, correct?
I teach things like making bouquets and things like that. But I'm also able to teach things like flower arranging for weddings and funerals. I happen to be from a school that's taught me all of that, so not only can I perform, but I can teach as well. So if you're trying to ask me to help teach you anything about it, I'm afraid it's all too high level for someone who couldn't even make it out of high school. Perhaps you should try taking after your brother first instead of asking me such brainless questions?
Well, that didn't quite answer my question. But I'll be looking forward to hearing more from you at the wedding. And I hope on that day you'll be willing to tell me what school you went to.
How's it going, Miss? Never graduated from high school. Have you finally been able to recognize the large gap in status between you and me?
You really have arranged all these flowers well?
You're able to see just how amazing of a person and florist I am, right?
To be honest with you, I don't see one bit of what you're talking about.
I guess even this is too hard for someone with no education or upbringing to understand, huh? Come on now. Do you want to give it a try?
You're asking me to...
You can go ahead and try arranging some flowers. I'm feeling confident about you. I happen to have a lot of flowers left over that you can work with.
I might end up making you look bad, but is that all right?
What do you mean?
Do you really think the way you have all these flowers set up is the right way to display them for your own wedding?
What are you talking about, Amelia? I was able to do all of the arranging by myself, and that's made my marriage to Andy even more exciting today. I knew that something like flower arranging would be too much for someone who couldn't make it out of high school, nor was ever even raised properly by her parents.
Then I suppose I will have to arrange some flowers for you today.
Really, I'd like to see you try.
Well, then allow me to put all my knowledge and skill into making up some very beautiful pieces for your wedding today.
What the heck is that? What's the meaning of all this? How on earth did you manage to create such a stunning and outstanding flower arrangement?
I just used my skills to put together that arrangement for you. These are skills I picked up while studying flower arranging in Japan at the Royal Palace there.
What? Royal Palace? In Japan?
Yeah, found that significant gap you mentioned earlier, Sophia. Now that, how does it feel? Does this revelation make you reconsider your role as an expert florist?
What are you talking about, Amelia? Explain right now. What do you mean by studying flower arrangements at the Royal Palace in Japan?
I'm a professional florist. I got invited to Japan for an exclusive 3-month course at the Royal Palace, where I learned various advanced techniques. My brother Andy kept it under wraps to protect your pride.
Ruining my pride? Why?
Because, unlike you, just a florist and a teacher, I'm a seasoned professional in the field. If you knew I'm a renowned flower arranger, you might have taken it personally and lost confidence in yourself. That's why I was planning to share this information with you on a different day.
So, you guys concealed all of this for my sake?
I've mentioned this before. My family genuinely cares about your feelings and didn't want you to feel inferior. We did everything we could to ensure your happiness.
But I was told you never graduated from high school. I just assumed you were some undereducated person. I don't understand what's going on here. Telling me you're a professional florist isn't making things any easier.
After middle school, I stumbled upon flower arranging at an art expo. I fell in love with the art, but didn't know how to pursue it as a career. When I inquired at the expo, they mentioned that professionals often travel the world to learn about the art. In my second year of high school, I studied abroad in France and Italy, learning from experienced professionals. Over time, I stayed out of the U.S. for more extended periods, and when I felt confident enough to turn it into a career, I returned, skipped high school, got my GED, and eventually got an invitation to study at the Royal Palace in Japan.
Is that what happened?
Yes, just to clarify, I have my GED, so technically I did graduate from high school.
So, you never dropped out or anything?
Nope, Sophia. Not like you're a dropout. Can we finally look forward to your wedding now?
How am I supposed to look forward to my wedding after all this?
I understand it's your special day, but your flower arranging made me look like a joke.
I'll lose everyone's respect and become a failure. At this point, there's no point in having the wedding.
It's still your wedding day. Stand back up, make it special for you and my brother.
Everyone I teach is here talking about having you as a teacher.
Don't worry about it. I don't take many students, and right now I don't have the time.
Are you implying that I have all the time in the world?
Well, as a teacher, it's part of your job, so don't misunderstand.
I'm not going to forgive you for all of this.
I'm not sure why you're so upset. But you're supposed to be the bride today, right? You asked me to try arranging some flowers, and I did. If anything, I'm thankful that the bride asked me to contribute to the arrangements for her wedding. So stop trying to blame me for your feelings of upset when it wasn't me who suggested all of this.
Well, even if I asked you to do all of that, I'm not okay with what you've done.
Sophia, can you please stop acting like a child right now? Can you please put aside your feelings and just enjoy your wedding day with my brother?
Why is this happening to me? What have you done? This is all your fault, Amelia.
Hold on, what are you talking about now, Sophia? It seems you got a little too jealous of my abilities and ended up hurting yourself while trying to get back at me. You attempted to push me into your wedding cake, but I dodged it, and you ended up in it making everyone laugh. I did nothing to provoke that, so it's all on you, right?
The wedding has been cancelled, all right? Why are you doing all of this to me?
And why you keep acting like I'm the one doing all of this to you. It just happens that my brother, my family, yours, and all your students are fed up with your childish behavior. Now the wedding is over because of that, right? I can't do anything to help you out of the mess you've created.
If you hadn't made those beautiful arrangements, I could have given my guests a wonderful wedding as a happy bride.
It's all over now, Sophia. I think it's a better time than any for you to calm down and think everything over.
I don't care about calming down right now. If you hadn't shown off in front of me and all the guests, I wouldn't have freaked out and come after you. But you went ahead and made such a perfect set of arrangements today.
And I told you already that it's my job to make things perfect, as I'm a professional paid to do so. This time, I really should have asked for some form of payment for the work I put into those arrangements. But it's my brother's wedding, so I thought it'd be okay to provide that service for free. You just weren't as good as you thought, and my flowers shined against yours. Please stop getting upset with me for doing what I've trained for many years to do. And I want to ask you to stop teaching your students your form of flower arranging. It's not good, and they'll never make money with it.
I don't give a crap about the flowers anymore.
And you call yourself a flower arrangement teacher? Shame on you, Sophia.
You know dang well that the wedding was the most important thing to me today. I'm sure that with the way things turn out, Andy is going to want a divorce now. It's all because of you that my whole wedding and marriage have been ruined.
Sophia, have you still not realized anything yet?
Still not realizing anything? What are you talking about?
The only one to blame for all of this happening to you isn't someone like me or my family but yourself.
Huh? Really? What do you want to say to me?
I was trying to make that very clear to you a bit ago. You tried so hard to make yourself look good in front of me, gambling on me being bad at flower arranging. But after you realized that I was no joke and far more confident than you fell short and began to freak out at the embarrassment of having all your students look up to me. And you have to realize that in doing all of that, you embarrassed my brother as well, right?
I didn't mean for any of.
Even if you didn't mean to embarrass me, what happened today is all because of your actions. Do you understand that?
I don't understand a thing about this. The fact that my wedding had to end up being canceled like this.
My brother had every right to ask for the wedding to be canceled after what you did to embarrass yourselves. You tried to push me into the cake, but ended up falling into it instead. Your face wasn't only covered in loads of frosting, but your dress and everything were ruined and in tatters, right? Can't you see that by not canceling the wedding? Things would have only gotten worse for you? I think Andy made the right choice in canceling the wedding. Now you should take from this that you have to stop acting like a spoiled brat and move on with your life.
You shouldn't say things like that about me. My heart is already broken, and you're going to call me a spoiled brat?
Also, I understand that you think highly of yourself for being an expert florist and teacher, but you don't have any of the necessary requirements to be a teacher in that art, right? I believe you really need to find a new job for yourself, as you are no teacher. And if anything, you're a scam to all your students. So please stop calling yourself an expert in things like that for me. Your way of arranging is not good. And I wouldn't even put it at a standard level. I think that if you really want to go into this profession, you should start by learning from a professional.
But to become a professional would require me to spend money. What's wrong with me making a little money teaching students how to do flower arranging my way?
What you are doing is not okay. It's just another scam. And I've already explained this to my brother so that he can think on it.
What? Why would you do something like that to me?
I'm just trying to stop someone like you from posing as an expert and ruining the image of us real professionals. And can you stop saying you went to school for any of this? I told my brother to make sure you find something else to do besides working in flower arranging. So you can have a word with him now about how things are going to go for you.
Amelia, please. Can you please just forget about all this and go back to us both being kind sisters-in-law? I have finally been able to marry a doctor like Andy, and today was supposed to be the perfect day for me. I was having so much fun with everyone being so jealous of me ending up in the perfect situation. Why did this have to happen to someone like me?
I'm not sure why, but I'm going to say no to that.
Why are you saying no? I'm asking you to please come back and be my sister-in-law.
Even if you ask me in the nicest way possible, I can already tell you haven't learned anything from today. And you only want to make yourself feel good? Now, good luck fixing that whole mess on your own. I'm sure I'll be wishing for a future where I'll never have to run into someone like you again. The wedding was officially called off and never reached completion. As Amelia had hoped, there were no encounters between her and Sophia after that day. Andy discovered distressing details about his wife, leading him to choose divorce rather than waiting for her to learn her lessons. He expressed his decision to Sophia, stating that he no longer loved her and initiating the divorce proceedings. In the divorce settlement, Andy didn't demand anything from Sophia, knowing she didn't possess much. However, he insisted on one condition. She was prohibited from contacting him or his family after leaving his house. Sophia's parents also disassociated themselves from her due to her actions, refusing to entertain her complaints or requests for assistance post-divorce. It wasn't just her parents. Virtually everyone she knew showed no sympathy and offered no support. Sitting in her flower shop for months with no customers or students, Sophia eventually realized that her career as a so-called florist was futile. Forced to sell the shop, she incurred significant financial losses, and even the sale couldn't cover her debts. Upon moving away, Sophia settled into a dilapidated apartment in an area with minimal foot traffic, chosen for its affordable rent. Limited job options awaited her, but anything seemed better than continuing to deceive her students and customers. Her attempt to play games and embarrass Amelia backfired, leading to her own downfall. Such heartless games ultimately left Sophia embarrassed, while Amelia emerged victorious.
I will embark on a business journey next Saturday.
What? Next Saturday? But next week is Christmas.
Oh. I am bound by work and have no control over the situation. I suppose that undertaking a work-related excursion during Christmas is a facet of adulthood.
Is there any possibility for you to attempt rescheduling the trip?
Huh? What are you saying? There's no way I can do that. You know this is my job, right?
I understand. However, this is our inaugural Christmas celebration since our marriage. Didn't I previously express my eagerness to spend this occasion together with you?
You said that?
I did, but maybe you weren't listening. And, do you remember that my birthday isn't Christmas?
Oh yeah! It's unfortunate that your birthday coincides with Christmas.
It's not about that. So you want to celebrate our first Christmas after getting married and my birthday separately? Due to your recent excessive overtime work. It just feels like we haven't been spending much time together lately. Sometimes I wonder if getting married was the right decision.
You do? How come? Things should be fine. Being busy at work is a good thing.
Yeah, it is, but... Is this really about work?
Huh?
Before getting married, you rarely ever had to work overtime. And you never had to go on business trips. I've been wondering lately if you're truly that busy every day at work. So I actually went to your office the other day.
What? When did this happen? You better not have said anything weird at my work.
I didn't say anything. Your office building's lights were off. You said that you were working overtime, so that confused me. It seemed like no one was there doing overtime work.
You know staying at the company isn't the only form of overtime work. I have to go out to dinner and hang out with my coworkers. Because of this, of course, we have to leave the office from time to time.
You count that as working overtime?
Of course, don't make things complicated. Regardless, my work trip has already been decided. So stop nagging me about it.
Why do you have to go on a business trip? Can't you get someone to take your place?
There's no way I can do that. I can't be so irresponsible. My status in the company is getting higher, so I have more responsibility now. That's why, of course, I have to work overtime more often now and go on business trips more frequently. So you have no right to complain.
I wasn't meaning to complain.
Well, this is how it is. I'll be working late tonight, so take care of things at home.
Huh? Today too? Okay, that's fine. But try not to work too late.
Andy, there's something that I was meaning to give you during the holidays. I received a lot of gifts, so can I go over to give them to you?
Thank you so much. I feel bad for you having to come all the way over there, so I'll go to you. What time works best for you?
Is that okay? If it's okay with you, why don't you come over when Mile has time? He's free on weekends, right?
Actually, Mile will be going on a business trip this weekend. He's been pretty busy lately, so I can just go over alone to pick up the gifts.
What? A business trip? But next week is Christmas, and isn't it your birthday?
Thank you for remembering. Yeah, it is, but it seems like he has to go on a business trip. It's his work, so nothing can be done about it.
If it was work. But hopefully he can make up for it before and after the trip. I'm sorry about my son.
You don't have to apologize. And it's his work, so I totally understand there's nothing that can be done about the situation. Don't worry about it.
I can't believe he's leaving you alone even with all the snow lately, and you're not used to this sort of climate. Are you okay with removing all the snow and driving through the snow?
I think it's fine since there's rotating in front of our house. I'm still practicing my driving.
Okay. I'm a little worried about you. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. Bye.
Of course. I'm looking forward to it as well. Thank you for messaging me. About your business trip tomorrow, is it really a business trip?
What? You're bringing this up again? How many times do you need to get an answer until you're satisfied? Can you get yourself together?
You are the one who should get it together.
Huh?
I already know that it's not actually a business trip. I met with your coworker, Mr. Tom, and asked about it.
You asked Mr. Tom? Are you for real? Why would you do that?
He told me everything. He said that work has been slow lately, so everyone leaves the office on time. He also said there's no way that you would be going on a business trip.
I hope you didn't say anything you shouldn't have.
All I did was ask if you were actually going on a business trip. He probably doesn't know that you've been lying to me.
That's relief. Now, don't say anything stupid. It'd be embarrassing if anyone from work found out.
So that means you're doing something shameful. Where have you been going and with whom?
You're so annoying. Fine. I'll tell you. I'm going with a friend on a relaxing vacation. Is that what you wanted to hear?
You're going on a vacation with your friend on my birthday? Does this friend a girl?
Why should gender matter? We couldn't line up our schedule on another date, so it had to be that day.
The fact that you thought you were free that day is ridiculous. It's your wife's birthday.
You're already past 30, so don't worry so much about birthdays.
Don't go.
Huh?
You need to rethink things.
You really need to get yourself sorted out. How am I supposed to cancel the day before? Stop saying stupid stuff and messing around. Why don't you try being good at home? I'll be getting home late, so sleep on your own. Bye.
Please come home. We need to talk about this.
Even though I came home late and tired yesterday, you were super loud. You need to reevaluate your behavior. Have fun with your birthday. Be careful not to freeze.
What are you talking about?
I'm off to the resort. See ya. I'm going to have fun. Have fun in these next few cold nights.
What do you mean cold nights?
I'll be gone tomorrow, so stay put. I'm gonna go have fun at the resort.
A resort sounds impressive. I'm so tired of you. Just do whatever you want.
I'll be visiting your house now, Andy. I'm heading over by car. The snow is really bad, so I took a quick break at the gas station. Things seem to be getting better, so I'll head over now. I'm sorry for running late. Hey, Andy, where are you now? Your husband says he doesn't know where you went. Were you not planning on meeting for today? I apologize if I was mistaken.
What the heck is going on?
Huh? What?
Why would you do this? Hey, what the? My mom is freezing to death. Why did my mom go to the storage room? Call an ambulance now.
This is all your fault.
What?
So this is how it is. I just called an ambulance. Your father and I will head over there now.
Huh? You're with my dad? Why are you with him? What's going on? And what happened to my mom? This is not good.
Stop playing stupid games.
Huh?
You were planning on trapping me in the storage room, weren't you? I get it now.
Yeah, so why is my mom in there?
You wanted me to get trapped in the storage room while you go to a resort with some girl. You're a piece of trash. You're the one who got your mom trapped.
Yeah, but why?
How should I know? I was planning on meeting with your mom. I was just heading over to her house, so I have no idea what happened. But your mom probably knew that since I'm not used to driving in the snow. Maybe she tried coming to me.
But then why is she in the storage room?
I don't know, but why does that matter? Do you understand what you've done? You went on vacation to cheat on me and come home. To find that your mother is freezing in the storage room and now you're upset at the fact that it wasn't me? I really wish this was a joke. Your father and I have been looking for your mother since yesterday.
What? Since yesterday?
Of course, why wouldn't we? I wasn't able to meet her even though we had agreed up on doing so. And your father said that he had no idea where your mother went. We were about to ask the police to search for her.
You're lying! This can't be true!
It's obviously true.
I had mistaken her for you.
Oh, so you'd be fine with me getting frostbite?
No, I never expected it to last this long. I expected that you would find a way out. I didn't want you to complain about me leaving. So I was gonna trap you for a little bit of time.
Only a little bit? Huh. It makes me sick that you openly admit that your original plan was to trap me. You don't care about my well-being whatsoever. You should have just straight up told me you wanted a divorce.
Huh? But I wasn't thinking about divorce.
Are you kidding me?
It's my fault for cheating on you, but it was just for fun. I never planned on divorcing you.
You leave your wife alone on her birthday to go on vacation with some other girl. And yet you say that you had no intentions of getting a divorce. Stop messing around. In reality, you actively tried putting me in danger by trapping me in the storage room.
I'm telling you that's not what I intended. I just wanted to play a little prank on you, okay?
That's not okay, you piece of trash. I don't want to hear it anymore and don't come to the hospital.
But
Your dad is really mad at you.
can I go to the hospital too? Is Mom oak? Is Dad still mad?
Do not come to the hospital. If you come, you'll be punched by your dad.
Why is he so mad?
Isn't it obvious? His son sent his own mother to the hospital.
But I'm telling you I didn't mean to.
Your mother barely made it.
What a relief! I was so on edge thinking that something had happened to her. Now things can get back to normal. Let's make peace.
Huh? You're joking, right?
What?
Your mom is totally mad and saying that she wants to break off ties with you.
Huh? Break off ties?
And I want a divorce. I've already told your parents.
A divorce? Are you being serious right now?
Obviously. Think about what you've done. I caught you cheating, and now we are getting divorced. You'll have to pay for the damages. After all, you knowingly took a risk to do this.
No, I didn't. I didn't even think too hard about what I was doing. Breaking off ties, getting a divorce, please just stop all this. I just wanted to have a little fun.
Your version of having a little fun is trapping people in storage rooms? You are sick?
No, Andy, you love me, right? Divorce isn't realistic.
You've become the person I hate most in this world. I hate you even more than those bullies from middle school. I don't want to see your face anymore. I'm leaving you. Your mom doesn't want to see you anymore either. Do you understand that you've lost your whole family now?
Did I really do something that bad?
How have you not realized? The price you pay for your little fun is pretty big. After that, Andy paid no attention to Mile. Mile visited the hospital and sought his family's forgiveness. However, his parents remained unconvinced, leading to the finalization of their divorce. They made the declaration that they would be cutting ties with him. He was compelled to compensate for the losses, and his partner, along with his romantic involvement, abandoned him. All he had remaining was a mountain of debt in a vacant house, as a result of the repercussions from his reckless affair. Were beyond his capacity to manage.
Hey, I've been eagerly anticipating your message all day long. How are your test results?
Hey! Great news! No abnormalities for the second month in a row.
Really? That is such great news. I'm so glad for you. I really am.
Thank you. I genuinely believe that I'll be okay. It was an absolutely dreadful experience when the doctors informed me of my cancer diagnosis. Despite the grueling nature of the treatment, I'm grateful that I persevered. I feel completely back to normal now. You went above and beyond for me, researching the best medical facilities and arranging my treatments every night. It must have been a lot for you.
I didn't feel like I could do much to help you. I couldn't even be with you on the day of your biggest surgery. I feel really bad about that. And all those god-awful chemo sessions, I wasn't there for them either. You did so well to get through it alone. I know you must have got told this a lot, but you are such an inspiration. I'm not sure I could have done it if I were you.
Even with your move to London, you still managed to get back a lot. It made my day every single time you were able to get back to see me. I know we're husband and wife, but what you did was above and beyond. I hope you know that if you ever need it, I'll do anything to support you in the future.
Thank you. But you really don't have to say anything like that. I made vows to you, and I meant every one of them. Now that you're better, we can finally have the family time that we missed out on when you and Jane come here. I just know he'll love it here. I can't wait to see Jake when you get here.
Wow, 9 years of marriage and you don't want to see me?
Whoops, put my foot in my mouth there. That goes without saying. I'm counting down the days until I see you again. It's not long now. But make sure you enjoy the last bit of your time in New York. I bet you'll miss it a bit when you get here. But look after yourself. Don't push yourself too much.
Okay. Hey, Lucy. Where are you now? I came to the house to pick up Jane, but you aren't here. Bought the house, could you let me know where you are and I'll come pick him up? Lucy. Nothing's happened, has it?
Oh, hey Kova. Sorry, I forgot to get in touch with you. I should have called you before you went all the way to my house. I'm not gonna beat around the bush here, you're a grown woman. I'm keeping Jake from now on. You should focus on enjoying the rest of the life you have left.
What? You must be joking with me. You can just take my kid. What are you on about?
I meant exactly what I said. I'm taking in Jake as my own. I'm serious. It's going to be easier for you if you just forget about him.
This joke is going too far, Jane. You've pulled some stunts before, but this is too far. What kind of person thinks it's appropriate to spring something like that on someone?
I'm being deadly serious. You've been told you don't have long to live, right? I know you had surgery, but you were told you don't have much more than 5 years left, right?
They said that before, yes. But it hasn't spread, and if nothing else develops, then I'll have a long life.
But doctors always say that. They don't want to be the ones to tell you that you'll kick it soon. It's all just to ease your emotions, though. The cancer won't just disappear. It's just an escape from reality. Kind of nice when you think about it. You get to die in peace.
It isn't just an escape from reality. The cancer hasn't come back, that's a fact. And if it does, they'll give me targeted treatment. Cancer isn't a disease that you have to die from anymore. Times have changed.
Well, even if you are 1 in a million, whose body can magically rid itself of a deadly disease, I'm not giving Jane to you. You won't be taking Jane back, so get used to it. Think about this. If you're only alive for a few more years and then die, wouldn't it be better to not remember you than be hurt when you die? He's only 2. If you separate it now, he'll forget about you pretty soon. If you die, all the people you leave behind are going to have to see Jane suffer. I'm doing this to save everyone so much heartache. Be mature about this. It's the right move. Anyway, you won't be there for him anyway. You won't live long enough to see his first girlfriend, his wedding, his first baby. You'll miss all of it. So what's the point in you being around now?
What on earth gives you the right to be talking to me like this right now? After all the crap I've been through, you're trying to steal my son. I've always hated your delivery, but this really is a special case of terrible. You're acting like it's 100% that I'm going to die, which it's not.
Is it really that bad? I think it's all pretty reasonable, to be honest. You can understand at least a little bit, no? Leo is living abroad. And your body is just a ticking time bomb. I can't leave my precious grandkid with a woman like that. You get it, right?
Stop it, just stop it. I will be the one to raise my child. Consider yourself out of my family. Give me back my son.
It's just not that easy. I can't just give him back to you just because you want him. You do know that I'm not deliberately working against you, right? I will always thank you for bringing Jane into this world. But Leo and Jane have a future. You, on the other hand, don't, right? I'm just acting on that fact. You get it, right? Also, I've already found a new mom for him.
What? A new mom? What is that supposed to mean? A kid can't just get a new mom.
I mean exactly what I said. Do you know Ben's childhood friend, Lizzie? It's her. She's healthy and kind. She'd be a great mother. I always thought it would be great if she became my daughter-in-law. But Leo chose you. I've made my peace with it now. But I've always had this nagging voice in my head telling me that Lizzie would have been better. But now you need to do what's best for your family and forget about them. You're past your expiration date.
Expiration date. All those Christmases together, all those birthdays, now I see your true character.
Well, I have to say it that clearly or you won't understand. You are a bit slow sometimes. I'm not going to tell you where Jane is until you show me that you can be reasonable about this.
Mom took Jane. She's crazy. What is she thinking? She said she wouldn't give him back to you?
Yeah, that's what she said. I tried to fight her, but she wouldn't budge. You know how your mom is. What should I do? This is messed up.
I tried to get in touch with her, but couldn't get through. I can't believe she's pulling this kind of crap. She's my mother, but my God, I hate her sometimes. Wait a second.
What? Is something happening?
I just got a message from one of my old friends from when I was a kid. I know where Jane is.
Are you being serious? Where is he?
He's out her place. Why he's there, I don't know. But she messaged me to let me know he's with her.
That does make some sense. Your mom did say she wanted someone called Lizzie to be his new mom.
That's her. What on earth is Mom thinking? She's gone too far with this one. Also, Lizzie is already married.
What? Is that right?
Mom ought to know about it. Lizzie has a kid the same age as Jane. Mom really is crazy. It seems that Mom rushed Jane over to Lizzie's house and left him there with little explanation. Of course, Lizzie looked after him and he's been fine the whole time he's been there. I'm having a chat to Lizzie now about it. I'm sorry, but I want to go and talk to Lizzie directly. But I can from here. I think it's better to chat to her in person about it. Would you mind going?
Don't worry about it. Of course I'll go. It's not like I'm going to leave Jane with someone else. I'll get him.
Have you calmed down yet? Did you sign the divorce papers that I sent through?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's still the morning now. You know I sent through the papers, right? What's up with you? You're really weird sometimes.
I'm sorry, I always get mistaken with time differences. It's the afternoon over here.
What? It's definitely morning. Oh, you must be tired or something. It's probably the cancer coming back. Anyway, you're able to relax now that you don't have kids to worry about. You aren't a mother anymore, remember?
I don't care what you have to say to me. Could you stop messaging me already? I won't be getting divorced and I won't be giving Jane up.
What are you on about? You've already lost him. I've put him somewhere safe. You need to calm down a bit.
And you called me slow. We moved abroad. Jane is by my side now. Our whole family is watching TV at the moment.
Wow, wait just a second. What are you on about? How can you be talking about the whole family when Jane is here?
He's not in New York now. I went and got him from Lizzie's place.
What? Why? How I don't understand. But yesterday Lizzie told me that Jane was doing fine at her place?
She was waiting until we all got to London to tell you that Jane wasn't with her anymore. Now you can leave us alone. You've already caused enough damage, don't cause any more. I can't believe you kidnapped my son. You're lucky I didn't have you arrested. Fortunately, your plan had holes big enough a plane could fly through them, so we took advantage of that and flew out of the country.
Arrested? You wouldn't dare. Now how did you get in touch with Lizzie? I don't believe it. There's no way you could have found her so quickly.
I mean, you said it yourself that Lizzie was Leo's childhood friend, so we were able to get in touch right away. She texted Leo straight away that Jake was with her. Because Leo was away, I went and spoke to Lizzie directly when I got her details. She told me that you dropped Jane off with her with barely a word of explanation. You're despicable. Dragging Lizzie into your crazy ideas.
Lizzie wouldn't have betrayed me. I've known her for years. She's always adored me. She's completely different to pathetic little you. She's a great woman.
I agree, she is a great woman. That's why she told me about what you've been up to. She helped us get out to London smoothly. Also, Lizzie is married and has a kid. You're saying that Leo could remarry with her. She said there would be no chance of that ever happening. She was so shocked when I told her that. What were you thinking? Where did your thought process come from seriously?
You're such a liar. I finally understand how low you'll stoop. Lizzie's loved Leo forever. If I were the one to tell her to marry Leo, I'm almost certain she would have trusted me and done it.
Wow, you really thought about this a lot. Well, it doesn't matter to me what you think. We're cutting ties with you. Leo and I are going to change our numbers. And we aren't going to tell you our new address or where we plan to be when we go back to America. So, enjoy the rest of your life alone.
That cancer must have spread to your brain if you think I'm gonna let you get away with this. I hope it finishes you off this time.
Oh, shut up. But I'll say thanks for one thing. Thanks for watching Jane while I was in hospital. I hope you enjoyed your time with him because you'll never be seeing him again. I hope you took plenty of pictures because that's it. Your relationship with my family has hit its expiration date. Lucy appeared to doubt the truth of my statement, prompting her to unleash chaos at Lizzie's house. Upon spotting Lucy at the door, Lizzie pretended to be unavailable. Lucy appeared visibly furious. Lizzie then blocked all other forms of contact, but Lucy didn't stop there. While Lizzie was out shopping with her child, Lucy followed them closely and subsequently abducted Lizzie's son. In a bizarre twist of events within Lucy's mind, she began to believe that Lizzie's child was Jane. Consequently, Lizzie contacted the police and had Lucy apprehended. Fortunately, Lizzie's son returned home unharmed. I dread to think what would have happened if he hadn't. Despite being Lucy's first reported kidnapping offense, she received a severe punishment due to the gravity of tampering with children, jail time. Once she was apprehended, it seemed that she finally regretted her actions. Nevertheless, as we have cut all ties with her, it no longer matters to us. When the police reached out to Leo, he made it clear that he wanted no involvement with her. It appears that Lucy developed a dislike towards me ever since we met. She saw my diagnosis as her lucky break, but her disappointment and subsequent madness were evident when I recovered. Her actions had such a devastating impact that it not only ruined her life, but it also left me struggling to adapt to mine.
My house is overrun with pests. I have two burdensome freeloaders cohabitating with me. What a pity. Wouldn't you agree, Flora?
Two freeloaders? Are you referring to me and Tony?
Who else am I referring to? Thanks to my son, you're enjoying the privilege of living here without paying rent and eating for free. You're essentially taking advantage of the situation without contributing anything in return. How lucky for you. I'm currently enjoying a cup of coffee with some friends, and our conversation has shifted toward discussing our respective in-laws. They helped me realize how fortunate you are.
I have to disagree. I go to work and then get labeled as a freeloader by my mother-in-law? Please don't call me that, by the way. It isn't right.
Oh my! Aren't you a feisty one? You were the one who forcefully entered my house carrying that unsightly child of yours. After the birth of that child, all you do is remain at home, entertaining yourself with it, neglecting any substantial responsibilities. What would you call that sort of lifestyle? You're just taking advantage of me. Do you think you're a queen bee and I'm just a worker?
Play. I look after my child while also working at home. And I also do the housework.
Work? I don't know what sort of lie you're trying to spin there. All you do is play around using my son's money. What an audacious little thing you are to try and claim otherwise.
If you would only look after Tony, then I would be able to work more.
I hope you're joking, but that's not even funny. What a bad sense of humor you have.
What? But it's true.
You want me to look after that ugly spawn of yours? It is seriously the ugliest baby I've ever seen. I honestly doubt that that thing is even Harry's child. You were probably knocked up by some other guy that you met on the wrong side of town. Just the thought of that makes me sick.
Why do you have to say things like that? You're being so rude. What did I ever do to you? And believe me, if Harry wasn't the father, I wouldn't be here. And if I wasn't here, then you two would be in a very tight spot.
Tight spot? Just because you're not here? My, don't you think highly of yourself? I never wanted you to be here in the first place. Same with that spawn of yours, too.
You need to stop wallowing in denial and just accept that this is how things are. Tony is your grandchild. But you shouldn't be harping on us. You need to talk to Harry as well. He's the one that needs to change.
Excuse me. I know you're not going to start criticizing my precious Harry now. Who's being rude?
He's already a full-grown adult. He's 30. I don't think it's appropriate to call him your precious anymore.
He's my son. I can call him whatever I want. You stay out of it. You didn't give birth to a boy, so you can't understand. A boy is the best thing that you can have. They are precious, and they will always be your child.
Only to you. As far as everyone else is concerned, he is an able-bodied citizen. At the very least, he needs to learn how to take care of himself. Right now, he can hardly even dress himself.
So what? His workplace doesn't have a dress code. He can wear whatever he wants. If his workplace doesn't say anything, then who are you to give your opinion?
That's what you think.
You. Is that your attitude? Caroline took you in. This is how you treat us. Karma is gonna come back and get you. Mark my words. You'll get what you deserve. Don't come crying to me when something bad happens to you.
I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, this conversation is going nowhere. We should just stop. It's time for Tony's bath anyway.
The next day.
Is this Flora?
Yes, it is. And who is this?
My name is Ina.
Sorry, but I don't know any Ina.
I'm so sorry.
What? Why are you apologizing?
I've been dating Harry. I'm so sorry.
You've been dating my husband? You're joking.
It's true, but I swear I didn't know that he had a wife and child. I would never have dated him if I knew.
Really now? Then, what do you want with me? Are you going to tell me to break up with him?
Of course I am, but that's not why I contacted you. I just wanted to apologize.
Well, that's not fair.
What do you mean by fair?
So you're just apologizing because you feel guilty about what you did. Did you think that would absolve you of everything?
I really am sorry. I never wanted to cheat. My father, he cheated on my mother multiple times when I was a child. I saw how my mother suffered. That's why when I found out that Harry was married, I just couldn't stay silent. I also want to warn you. Harry has been seeing other women as well. I'm not the only one.
What? Other women?
Yes, I was shocked too. I'm not his only girlfriend. I know this might be hard to hear, but I had to tell you.
Are you telling the truth? How do I know you're not just lying to me to scare me off so that you can be with him?
That's not what I'm trying to do. I have proof. That man is a pig. Even though you're his wife, it honestly feels like he's been cheating on me as well. And he's been cheating on both of us with others. I know that it really isn't my place to tell you all this, but I just couldn't let it keep happening.
Thank you for letting me know, I guess. I spent all day taking care of my child, so I don't have time to get out of the house. I didn't even suspect that he was cheating on me.
I really am so sorry. I have always been aware of how much pain my father caused me and my mother. I never wanted to be a part of what he did to us. But somehow I grew up to be involved in something just like it. I feel like I'm just as bad as he was. I can't express how truly and deeply sorry I really am.
You said that your name is Alan?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you for telling me the truth. For what it's worth, I do believe that your apology is genuine.
Thank you so much. Please let me extend my apologies to your child as well. I never wanted to hurt her, and I never wanted any child to go through what I went through.
If you have any photographic evidence, may I have it? I will forgive you if you give those pictures to me.
Yes, of course. I'll give them all to you.
Thank you for cooperating with me. I forgive you, so please stop torturing yourself over this. You seem like a good girl, and I know that you can find a much better man than a horrible pig like my husband. Free yourself from that relationship, and I hope that you can find a proper man. I wish you all the best.
Thank you for saying that. Again, I'm really sorry.
A few days later.
I'm done having leeches like you in my house and taking up my space. Hurry up and pack your things. Get out right now.
What? Are you serious right now?
I don't need you or your spa in my life. All I need is my son. We are fine without you. I've already filed for divorce, so you need to get out. Don't forget to take your spawn with you. Your leeching days are over.
Leeching? Your son is the only one who is leeching off of people.
I'm not interested in any more of your slander against my son. Just get out. Just get out.
And what do you mean you filed for divorce? How could you possibly have done that?
I found a divorce petition earlier today already signed. I just took the liberty of dropping it off for you.
You stole my thunder. I was looking forward to the day when I can file for divorce. Harry and I signed those papers way back along with our marriage certificate. We only got married because I got pregnant. I wanted to make sure that I had an escape route if things didn't work out, so it's part of our prenup. I had him sign divorce papers as well. That was the only way I was going to marry him.
Why on earth would you have wanted to do that? Why would you even want to divorce my beautiful son?
Why? That's such an easy answer. It's because he's a good-for-nothing leech. If he wanted to divorce me, he wouldn't be able to live the cushiony life that he has now. He tried his best to tie me down.
What are you even talking about? He supports you and your little brat.
You do know that he still hasn't given up on his music, right?
That's just a hobby. So he plays a bit of music when he has some free time. What about it? That doesn't make him a bad person, and now you should call him a leech.
Oh, but you are so sadly mistaken. He is still hoping to make it big and live off of his music.
What? Live off of his music? What about his job? He leaves the house every day to go to work, doesn't he?
He doesn't. When he goes out every morning, he isn't going to work at some office. He's actually going to band rehearsals. You've seen his rocker outfits, right? No job would ever allow him to dress like that. So, did she really think that he was going to some office dressed like that?
Why not? Companies these days aren't as stiff as they used to be. People can wear whatever they want. But you're saying that he isn't working. That can't be true.
Maybe you'll believe me when I tell you how much he makes. He only brings home about $200 a month. And that would be considered a good month.
What? Only $200 a month?
Why, yes. He does live gigs on Friday nights. The rest of the week is spent rehearsing. Oh, and recently he started his own YouTube channel. After paying studio rental fees and other things, he's only left with $200.
It might be a small amount, but he's still getting paid. You need to apologize for calling him a leech.
That's it. That's what you chose to focus on. Don't you have anything else to say about him? About the way he is living?
Do you need to know what the definition of a leech is? A leech is a person that doesn't even contribute a single penny to the household, and they rely on others to live. But that isn't my son. He's contributing something, so he isn't a leech. Harry's out there working hard and trying to make his dream come true. That's admirable. He even able to bring money home while doing it.
He might be bringing that money inside the house, but it's definitely not going towards anything for the family.
What is he doing with it then?
He uses that money to pay for cigarettes instead. He said that he has to look like a rocker, and act like a rocker. He claims the rockers have to smoke and that they can't vape because that isn't the rock life. The price of cigarettes has gone up every year. I'm sure you're aware of his smoking habits. He smokes a pack a day and he doesn't care where he does it. Even when Tony is in the same room as him, he still lights up.
I thought he only did that because this job causes him stress. But a lot of people smoke.
Nope. He only does it to look and act cool. He basically smokes the little money that he makes away. He's really good for nothing. But it really doesn't matter anymore because I don't have to deal with him from now on. He's not my problem anymore. I was only holding everything in for the sake of our daughter. But thanks to you, I don't have to do that anymore either.
Wait a minute.
Thank you so much, Naomi. You saved me. You talked a lot of smack about me, but at the very end, you did me a huge favor. Thank you. You saved me from going through all the trouble myself. You're going to be taking over the bill payments, right? Someone will need to pay the electric bill, the taxes, the phone bill, and buy all the food. Oh, and the rent, of course. You're going to be doing that from now on, right?
You were the one who has been paying all that?
Yes. Who else? Your son definitely doesn't make enough money to pay any of those. He doesn't have any money at all. I'm actually quite a successful writer. All I need to do is write articles during my free time and I can make $1,000 a week.
$1,000 a week?
Actually, I was in a pickle. I already achieved financial independence and my love for Harry had burned out a long time ago. I was going to file for divorce soon. I went to the shelf where I had put the divorce papers but was shocked when I couldn't find them. There. I thought I must have misplaced the envelope somewhere. Where did you find them?
They were underneath my mattress. I was changing my sheets and they just fell out like a little gift from God.
Oh, I see. Harry didn't want me to get a divorce, so he must have hidden them in your room. So not only did you find the papers for me, but you handed them over to the courthouse as well. Thank you very much for doing that. Now I will finally be able to be free.
Wait, just wait a second. Do you really intend on throwing my son away like that?
Yes, in a heartbeat. It might take a while for the divorce to be granted, but I don't see the reason why I should stay here any longer. My job here is done. Enjoy your life with your precious son. By the way, Harry has a gig this weekend, so he won't be back until tomorrow afternoon. In the meantime, I'll be gathering my things and getting out of here by tonight.
No, you can't do that. Just listen to me for a second, Flora. I'm sorry for saying all those horrible things to you. I had no idea what was going on. So, could you please forgive me?
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to forgive you.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to forgive you. What? But I asked really nicely. I'm your mother-in-law, and I'm asking for forgiveness. How can you be so cold?
Because it's too late. And by the way, I'm going to be coming at him hard in the divorce proceedings. Expect the alimony to be substantial. Like $50,000 substantial. We're thinking of getting it up front as well. With his lifestyle, there's no guarantee that he'll be able to pay monthly.
$50,000? Are you crazy?
You called me a leech. All the while Harry was cheating on me with several women. I had to suffer from that. And on top of that, I was paying for everything. I was carrying a very heavy burden. My lawyer said that I can ask for pain and suffering compensation.
Lawyer? You talked to a lawyer already?
Of course. I couldn't find the divorce paper, so I had to contact a lawyer to help draw another one up. But again, thanks to you, you found the papers. I don't have to pay the lawyer for document fees. You saved me again.
Oh my goodness, what have I done? Harry's gonna be so mad when he finds out that I was the one that handed in the papers. I hate it when he gets mad. I can't get through once he has flown off the handle. You know how he gets when he's angry.
Oh, I definitely know. There's no stopping him when he gets angry. He just needs to burn himself out. I have been on the receiving end of his anger while you just go hide in your room. But the only way to calm him down a bit is with money.
Money? That's how you got him to stop his rampage.
Yes, there's no other way that would work.
How much does it cost?
Do you have any idea how much it costs for him to do his gigs? He needs to pay for transportation as well as clothes. It costs quite a bit, so my best advice for you is to not get him angry.
But I don't have any money. I don't have an income. I just live off of my pension.
Oh, and I haven't even thought about child support yet. I deserve that as well. Actually, Tony deserves that. And it's not like he's any kind of good influence, so I think she'll be much better off with the money than with him around.
How can you even say about that? You're so cold. You're evil. Don't you have any empathy at all?
Don't talk to me about empathy. You have been exploiting me ever since I got together with Harry. You haven't even shown me an inch of kindness since the beginning. This is karma coming back to get you. You reap what you sow.
After that.
In the end, Naomi achieved her desired outcome. She was able to live independently with her son. She quickly discovered that Harry was spending a significantly larger amount of money than she could have ever anticipated. Naomi had no other option but to end her retirement and take up a part-time position at a fast food establishment in order to contribute towards their expenses. She had envisioned a peaceful life after retiring, but her son's actions shattered that dream completely. She inadvertently contributed to the situation by indulging Harry excessively, leading to the current circumstances. She will bear the consequences of that mistake for the remainder of her existence. As for myself, witnessing the effects of excessive parental indulgence, I aspire to strike a harmonious balance between affection and firm guidance when raising my own daughter.
Hello, Vera. Are you still working? How many times have I told you to resign and become a decent full-time housewife for my son?
Hello, Emily. It's great to hear from you as well. When I say this, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I've also told you many times that I'm not interested in quitting my work and becoming a housewife. I had hoped we were on the same page about this by now. And, moreover, James doesn't seem to object if I work, so I don't see the problem. To be honest, I believe this is something that should be decided between myself and my husband.
What? What are you on about, Vera? You are aware that others are accusing you of being selfish for not quitting your job to care for your daughter.
What? But I don't think I'm being selfish at all. What could be more selfish than working hard to care for your family?
But have you considered how your effort may affect Jenna? She most likely believes her mother ignores her and does not love her. Consider how this might affect her as she grows older. Whatever happens to her will be entirely your fault. Are you all right with that?
Do you think my child will have a lot of problems because her mother worked? I'm sorry, but I don't see the link there. I'm doing everything for Lucy. Okay, her well-being is constantly in the forefront of my attention. Besides, I'm still with her all day, you know?
But what you're doing is insufficient for her. Kids are extremely sensitive to these kinds of things and can be extremely sensitive to a lack of attention from their parents. You should be spending a lot more time with your children than you believe. I'm sure your poor little kid is lonely without you around to take care of her.
Sorry, but I don't believe much of what you're saying. Besides, Jenna is never truly alone during the day. After all, she is preparing to begin preschool with a large group of other children. And when she does start preschool, I'll be leaving work early every day to take her up.
And I can assure you that this is still insufficient for her. And your poor young kid is too kind to say anything to you.
Are you sure that's what's going on? Anyway, it's okay because James is usually helping around the house. And when I can't be with Jenna, he always makes time for her. When they're together, she always seems to be having a good time.
And you think that's a reasonable load to impose on my poor son? You have no idea how busy he is at work. When he gets home, he deserves to rest. But now you're telling me that you're too lazy to be a mother to your own daughter, so you make James do it? Don't you realize it's the woman's responsibility to raise the children and run the household?
I'm sorry, Emily, but I don't believe we hold the same views on that subject. Furthermore, I believe that times have evolved and that thinking is somewhat out of date. If a couple can work together, they can also raise their own children together. After all, it's their child, so shouldn't both parents be involved in its upbringing?
Well, in my family, we still appreciate traditional values and do not think in such way. What the rest of the world is doing is irrelevant to me. My rules apply to my family. Then again, you are just James' wife. We're not even blood relatives. But now that you've married in, the least you can do is raise your family the way I say.
Don't you think you've gone a little too far?
Not to mention the house. Do you take any steps to keep it clean? You just let dirty clothes pile up, dishes pile up in the sink, and dust accumulate everywhere. Food that was simply left out. Do you even try to keep your house clean?
I was hoping you'd bring up the status of the house. Last time you came by, you didn't leave any form of message or notification. Then you stormed in, searching every nook and cranny for flaws. Anyway, please don't do it again.
What could possibly have irritated you about my visit? Maybe if you truly kept your house in order, you wouldn't be so upset when guests come over. I didn't tell you I was coming over just to prove a point. And I had to be thorough in my search. Who knows where you tried to conceal your junk from me?
I wasn't hiding anything, and even if I was, it's my house, and I believe I have the right to do so.
Is that what you're thinking? You just didn't want me to find out what a slob you are. I never wanted you to marry my beloved son. He deserves a wife who can truly take care of the house as she should.
Actually, James and I do a great job of splitting the chores. And it's true that sometimes both he and I are so busy that we don't get the housekeeping done. But we've never let it get to the point where it became a significant problem. We constantly make certain that the house is clean enough that there is no danger to our health or anything of the sort.
Still, I don't think it's good enough. I can't bear going over to your disgusting place. And I'm sure my little James feels the same way. After all, I reared him and always kept the house pristine as he grew older.
I don't think you need to be concerned about that, Emily. James and I chat frequently, and he doesn't appear to have any issues about how we live.
Oh, my poor darling little boy. He must work extremely hard every day to keep himself under control around you. I simply wish he'd already divorced you.
Okay, I'm starting to get tired of this conversation. I would appreciate it if you picked your next words with care.
I'm just worried about my little son. He worked so hard at his job every day and even made sure to send some money home to me. I've heard you don't send money back to your parents. Is this correct? It's never too late to quit being a lousy daughter.
Actually, I don't send money home to my parents because they don't need it. Furthermore, neither works full-time nor has attained retirement age. I know you can stay at home with James for the duration of his childhood. But ever since your husband died, you've relied on James to send you money to get by.
And I am eternally grateful to my lovely, sweet boy. I did an incredible job raising him to be the man he is now. Of course, he is not flawless and has made some poor choices in his life. That is, some small and some not so small. Oh, I should have been there to steer him in the right direction.
I'm sure I have no idea what you're on about right now. Anyway, it's our house, not yours, so we'll keep doing things our way. Please refrain from making any further comments or criticism about how I operate my house. Thank you.
Excuse me? Who do you think you're talking to, young lady? If this is how you genuinely act, I truly feel sorry for my poor little child and granddaughter.
Anyway, I'm extremely busy, so I'm going to leave now.
Hello, honey. Did you and my mum talk earlier today? My mother sent me a message that was largely her complaining.
Yes. We had a conversation. She was asking me again if I was sure I didn't want to be a stay-at-home mom. She was just saying how lonely Jenna must be and how filthy the house must be. It's just a typical complaint, you know?
I see. I'm very sorry you have to deal with her like way. I've told her numerous times that you and I would cheerfully split the work and run the house together, but she's stuck in her old ideas and insists that all of this should be done by the wife. And then she only blames you when the chores go unfinished or the house is a little filthy. I've tried to explain how things truly are to her all the time, but she just doesn't seem to want to hear what I have to say.
No. I understand. It's fine. Your mother is the type of person who occasionally attempts to impose her will on others. That's exactly what I'm hearing from you. To be honest, I sometimes feel sorry for you. You're also a victim in this.
Yes, just a bit. But I'm sorry that all of her rage seems to be directed at you. I wish there was something I could do or say to my mom to make her stop. I've stopped trying to tell her the truth lately because she's becoming so much. I'm sorry I didn't do more to put a stop to it all.
I said it was okay, James, and I meant it. I realize you have a lot on your mind and are giving it your all. And your efforts are paying off. Just look at how great you did on that test last week. You're continually pursuing certifications and getting closer to your desired career.
Vera. That's very kind of you. Thank you really lot. But I couldn't have accomplished anything without you by my side, always prepared to assist. And I know I've made things difficult for you with all of this. But I vow to have some positive news for you soon. All I ask is that you hold on a little longer, okay?
Of course, my dear. You know I'll always be rooting for you.
We're having a family meal at that barbecue restaurant. We're going to eat a lot of delicious cuisine. With the exception of you. You are only permitted to eat from the salad bar.
Excuse me? What do you mean I'm only allowed to eat from the salad bar?
You aren't family, and this is a family supper. That's why I say you can't order anything off the menu. Only the salad bar. Maybe you can just eat all the divine fragrances.
What exactly are you talking about? Don't you think this is a little excessive?
And here she is again, the terrible wife who is always squabbling with her mother-in-law and never follows orders. You realize how much I despise you? Why don't you just leave?
That's okay. Maybe I'll do it.
Okay, then.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Enjoy your meal.
What did you say to James, you wicked witch? He is enraged with me right now. Did you realize that even your own daughter hates Grandma now? What kind of terrible lies did you spread among my family?
Jenna actually said that to you? I think I've been growing my child to be much tougher than I expected. To be honest, it moved me.
Tell me what you said to them, what caused my son and granddaughter so angry with me. I became so agitated that I had to dash to the restroom. James even advised me that I needed to adjust the way I spoke to you. Can you believe it?
I certainly hope that's the most he said to you, Emily. I've been irritated all day because of the bullshit you were spewing at me earlier. So I talked to James and told him all you had said to me. After I finished telling him everything, he seemed really unhappy with you.
You are heinous. What lies did you feed my poor little boy's mind? What have you done to my precious James?
It was at this time that I was on my way to the restaurant where I assumed we would all be eating together. Then you sent me all those angry messages, and I didn't even show up. So I explained what had happened to James and that I was too sad and needed to go home. And I'm guessing that's around the time James and Jenna arrived to meet you at the restaurant.
So that's why only those two were present when I arrived? And what is all this nonsense about my son not working right now? You're saying my son and granddaughter have been subsisting on what you've brought home? I don't believe it.
So James finally told you what he's been up to, huh? To be honest, that was surprising. He assured me he would wait till he reached his goal before telling you everything.
What do you mean? You must speak to me clearly right now or else. You'd better explain what you're talking about with James' purpose.
So, this conversation didn't get very far, did it? James has always aspired to be a designer, did you know? I'm sure you knew about your darling little guy, right?
What exactly did he do? What are you even saying? You're saying James is now studying that? Design?
Yes, it is correct. He returned to school to pursue his interest in design. That's why I've been working extra hard to provide for my entire family.
This has to be a joke, right? I thought I had put an end to his crazy dreams when he was little.
Do you see what I mean? You got in the way of your kid doing what he truly desired. Now I'm working hard to give him a chance to realize the aspirations you forced him to abandon. He's always been such a good son, doing whatever you asked. So I'm not going to do the same. Instead, I'll be there for him every step of the way as he forges his own path.
You idiotic cow! Are you attempting to derail my son's future?
Oh, Emily. Isn't that the question I should be asking you? James was always forced to do things he didn't want to do. Forcing him to apply for jobs that you have chosen for him. It didn't really matter as long as your expectations were met, right?
But I had no choice. As a result, he had a nice salary and a terrific work with an incredible firm. But you made him abandon everything only to pursue some foolish fantasy of his? Don't you see this is going to ruin him?
Let me tell you a little bit about his profession, Emily. Not only was it something he didn't choose for himself and never wanted to do, but he would always come home late after hours of overtime and appear depressed. What I'm doing for James is because I want him to have a better life. I want to support him in the same way that my parents helped me start my own business.
But you must first open your eyes. This is the real world in which we live. And, young woman, let me tell you something. The real world doesn't care about your dreams. What if James doesn't succeed? So, what are your plans?
If that's the case, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But, no matter what, I will always work hard to provide for my family. That is what a good husband and wife do. We're here for one another.
That's great for you, but what about Jenna? Aren't you abandoning her by constantly working? Look at the state of your home. That is no way to raise a child.
Actually, because I work so much, James has been doing all of the chores. Of course, I assist him whenever possible because his first focus right now is Jenna's care.
That's a sick familial dynamic. You make your hubby do the housework? That is completely unnatural.
In life, there is work, and housekeeping. Since I'm in charge of the work, James is in charge of the housework. But, if you think about it, it's the polar opposite of how things used to be in your day.
That is why it is unacceptable. It is simply not going to happen.
What you think is irrelevant to me. Jenna is constantly appreciative of how hard her father works. And when she grows up and has her own hopes and ambitions, James and I will be there to support her in whatever she chooses. She will also learn from her father what it means to pursue and achieve one's aspirations. After all, James was so unhappy for so long because of the way you raised him.
What did you just say to me?
That's why he's so against raising Jenna the way you did. Do you understand all I'm saying right now? We are going to do things our way and raise our children the way we want them to be raised.
You believe you can raise your children without the help of grandparents? You will be regret.
No, Emily. I believe you will be the one who regrets how this turns out. I believe you should be aware that the allowance you thought James was providing you was actually from my personal salary. But your own son said it was time to cut you off. As a result, you will no longer get checks in the mail as of today.
Wait, what? Then how am I expected to live? How am I expected to buy food? I'd never had to work before. My entire life, I was a stay-at-home mother.
And this is the result of you believing that was the best option for you. I suppose you should have had a backup plan in case things went wrong. I've gone this far in life on my own power, which is why I'll never be a housewife.
Wait! You can't do this to me. I'm your in-law's mom. I admit that I was mistaken. You are not limited to eating at the salad bar. Do you think we could meet in person and talk?
I don't have anything else to say to you. I hope you live a life that you are certain you picked for yourself. I'm confident that's the only way you'll know whether or not your choices were proper. But, in my opinion, people who have never worked a day in their lives should learn about the real world before lecturing others how to live. Emily then exited the restaurant's bathroom and returned to her table. When I arrived, she was still sitting there, getting reprimanded by her son. I looked at Emily and urged her to enjoy the salad bar before I went home with my family. We left Emily there to consider her options. Emily struggled to find a part-time job to support her new existence away from our family. I've heard she's barely getting by,